finish. That's good. Okay. All right, guys. So we're giving a little update on Marla, and more importantly, I wanted to give a little history and let everybody know what we've done up to the point where we are right now. So there's, I want to start right off the bat with discussing, there's a lot of misconception about Amish breeders and being synonymous with puppy mills. So that's the first thing I'd like to address. Okay, there's just a lot of bad information surrounding that. So let's get one thing straight. Puppy mills can occur anywhere. It's just how it is. And you know, to say like, oh, never buy a dog from an Amish person, to me, that's just completely absurd. It's the equivalent of saying you wouldn't buy a dog from a Jewish person, because really anyone is capable of doing bad things involving animals. Okay, that being said, a little bit of backstory. When Sarah and I first really started getting this business going, we kind of fell into that category of, you know, we had the mindset, oh, Amish breeding, no good. So we took a vacation up to the Hershey area, and, you know, and getting up there, you pass through Lancaster, which is Amish country, and we were actively undercover, so to speak, trying to figure out and develop our own opinion on, like, what's going on. Because being up there, we were greeted with nothing but kindness, very kind, God-fearing people who work hard. And we weren't seeing too much of puppy mills. What we were seeing was a lot of small pet shops with cages and cages of dogs just piled on top of each other, most of mixed breed origin. I'm talking about the Doodles, guys. No offense to the Doodle people, we love you. But just cages and cages on top. And these dogs are a couple of $1,000s each. So, you know, in our research, what we've come to find is it's very common that they refer to anyone who's outside of their community as English. So a lot of English pet shop owners tend to, you know, find an Amish breeder who just has some family dogs and gives them a very low ball amount of money for the dogs and convinces them that they're going to good homes and whatnot. And then more or less they're sitting in what's pretty much a shelter situation until the time of purchase, if at all. And hey, come here, Marla. Yes, good girl. Come. Sit. Hey. Sit. Yes. Okay. So Marla is an example of a dog who's obviously very well cared for. She looks good. She comes from an Amish family. She's actually from Ruger's breeder. We made good friends with the family, and they basically wanted us to train her up and get her a little better. So one of the things I will say, some positive things about Amish dogs that you see, highly social with children. They have lots of kids who partake in caring for the animals, the farm animals, and the dogs included. So what you do see is they're a little unfamiliar with the outside world, as they would be, a little more tentative maybe around cars, for instance, or, you know, they get in the car and they might get car sick or some intestinal problems. And they're just not as well adjusted to more or less Western civilization way of life is the best way to put it. So we've had her at this point for about 4 months, and what we've been working on with Marla primarily is just getting her socialized and kind of get out of that nervous tentativeness. And like even things like walking into the house, something completely unfamiliar to her, that took a little work. You know, potty training took a little bit more work. But now that we have her confidence up, our next step with her is to start teaching her some obedience. So she does the basics. She comes when cold. When it's time to go in the house, she'll follow really well. But there's still a lot of self-control things that need to be done. And we didn't want to, in the beginning, early phases of working with her, want to start drilling her with heavy obedience, because all that's really going to accomplish is potentially making the dog retreat more and not be interested in really forming a bond or a relationship with a human. So she's in her heat cycle right now, so she's a little more sniffy than usual. So I'm going to pick up the leash and start working her a little bit. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to start teaching her. It's the first time we've really started working on this. I'm going to get the treats away because she already knows how to sit. It's not necessary to use a lure to get a dog to sit once they know how to do it. But I'm going to teach her sit with her implied stay, and hopefully we'll be able to take a couple steps away from her and she'll be able to hold it. Because impulse control, oh good, is a big one with her. So we get our engagement first. Sit. Good. Sit. Yes. Okay. And that's a good first rep, right? So now on my next one, maybe I'll drop the leash. Maybe try to take a couple more steps, adding some distance. Maybe go to the left or right a little bit and add a distraction in there. Marla, yes. That's good. Oh, oh, oh. Yes. Sit. Yes. Sit. Good. Now if she breaks, I'm going to use a negative marker, say the word no, apply 3 corrections on the leash, and put her back to where she messed up. She's doing good. There's a bird over there. She's holding it. I come back. Yes. Okay. Marla, come. Good. Now the other thing too, we want to compartmentalize the sit from come. Don't want to overwhelm her with too many commands. Like right here, dog's already engaged with me. Like now she's not. There it's appropriate to say her name. But like if I'm in the area and she's already with me, sit. I would just go right to the command. Sit. No, sit. Corrected her because she leaned in a little like she was going to break. Good. Sit. Maybe come in, mark. Yes. Sit. Yes. Sit. Good. Sit. Yes. Okay. Good girl. All right, guys. So she's doing really, really well. At this point, too, leash walking is something she has down. She's going to go home with the Hermsprenger prong collar for sure. We want to make sure all the kids in the house are going to be able to safely walk her. But even on a slip lead, hardly holding it, you can see she's right with me in that nice heel. When I come to a stop, finish. Yes. Okay. She's stopping really nice for me. So that's an update on Marla, and there's going to be more on this girl for sure. Take care, everyone.